everybody, and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Board of Selectmen, Monday, August 7th, and it's now 7 p.m., so we'll call the meeting to order. A couple of things before we start. I want to let everybody know that this meeting is being recorded and may be shown live on local broadcast, the Shirley broadcast channel, and it may be on the internet as well. And if anybody here wishes to record or videotape, they need to notify me right now. And as long as it doesn't disrupt the meeting, I will allow it. I don't have anything else, so we are called to order, and I'm going to start off with the announcements. So we have a couple of things coming up. First, we have a special town election scheduled for September 12th for a debt exclusion override. More information for that will be coming out. There is stuff on the web about registering to vote and all of that, so please check it and make sure you check all the dates that are there. And then I have one more announcement, and it's with regret that we, the board, accept the town accept the resignation of James Wilson from the Board of Selectmen effective immediately. So beyond that, we don't have any other information on it. So with that, you can.
Thank you. My comment on that is, and I think I can comment on this in the sense that when I first served on the board way back in 1979, which was a long time ago, if you got 2 calls a week, that was a lot. When I served on the board 10 years ago, if you were called 3 or 4 times in the week, that was a lot. But this is entirely different. This is a situation where you're not only always being called upon, but you're always constantly, whether it's Holly, whether it was Jimmy or myself, working hand in hand with the town administrator, because the government is so changed, it's so involved that it requires your time. And during that time period, when you're trying to do the best for the town, you continuously receive complaints from individuals, basically the same individuals, whether it's an open meeting law violation or whether it's silly questions about your past. For example, with me, where did you have your car repaired the last 10 years? Was it at the DPW? Of course it wasn't. I wouldn't bring my car to the DPW to get it fixed. And I don't think anybody else would, number one. So there's constant complaints to embarrass the selectmen, constant complaints to ask the selectmen to do things that are not in their purview, constant comments about how as a team we work. And you know, I've talked to people today, would you like to run? And they say, what? You think we're crazy like you? That's not a good thing. That's a really bad thing. Because there's a lot of people out there that would like to work for the town. There are a lot of people out there that could work with this body. And we have worked with the town administrator, and if we didn't do that, we wouldn't get anything done. That's how much the workload, since I first ran in '79, has increased. It's a whole different ballgame, and it requires concentration, and it requires work. And I'll tell you one thing, I can speak for Holly, I think, and myself, to those people that constantly do that, we're not going anyplace. We took a chance and ran. We got elected by the people. We're here to serve the people, and we're going to do the best we can. As far as Jimmy's concerned, he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met. I've known him a long time. But he has a young family. He works hard. He puts a lot of hours in. He's doing the very best he can. And I think it just got to him. And I can understand that. So we're here to serve you. I'm sure we'll comment next week on it. I have a great regret that he's gone, but I'm sure that he talked about it with his family and he made that decision. But I can assure you folks, this is not the job I had in '79 or in 2006. It is not the same job.
Thank you, Rico. I will not say anything at this point in time. I'm going to just move forward. With that, I'm going to go to the third item on our agenda, which is meeting with some of our officials in our local committees. And our first item on there is the public records request policy. Bill Elfke, could you come up and talk to us about this? And can you make sure you talk into the mic so that, you know, and loud so everybody else out there can hear us as well?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Elfke. I'm the town clerk. And also last month or the month before, I was appointed as a lead public records access officer for the town of Shirley. As part of that, all requests for public information, public records come through me, and I'm sort of like the funnel. They send it to me. I will determine who would be best to respond to the public request. If it's records that the selectmen would have, I'd send it up to Nate or Patrice. If it's something that the police would have, I'd send it over to Pam Callahan or the chief of police, and that type of thing. I then monitor it, make sure, because there's strict timelines that is the state mandates. The first response has to be within 10 business days. So this stuff has to get done quickly. So I just monitor it and just remind them, okay, you got 5 more days, you got 2 more days, that type of thing. Since I've been doing it for the last 2 months, we've gotten a lot of requests, and the town officials have been right on it. And we've been getting the information and getting it out, and no hassles at all. But the state mandates certain required criteria. It's all by regulation. And the basic premise behind the public records access is that everything that is done in the town government is open to the public, open for a copy of it, open for review, with exceptions. And those exceptions are written in the mandate of the law. There's things like client-attorney privilege. If there's some communication going on between the selectman and the attorney when they're trying to figure out what to do, or the Board of Health, or whoever is dealing with the attorneys, and the communication between them is not open for viewing. Other things would be medical information. If someone says, you know, is that person fit for duty, you know, can you tell me if that person has a heart condition, that type of thing, that's not open for discussion. As well as personnel actions, like if, you know, suspensions and removals and things like that, that type of thing, what actions are on record for that person. By law, not by Bill Elfke, not by the selectmen, not by whoever, is not disclosable. But 99% of things are. So that's, you know, just so you know. I'm the lead records person, but I have 2 people who assist me. Nate in the selectman's office is one, and Pam Callahan in the police and DPW is another. Let's see. Any requests that anybody has, they would come through me, so you can either drop it off in my office, you could mail it to me, you could email it to me, you could fax it to me. And all of that information is on the town clerk website, so you can do all that. You can keep it secret, but the only way to really keep it a secret would be, you know, if you want the information back, it's hard to keep it secret if you want information back. But if you want to just get information out there, that's okay. For fees, the state mandates, or the law basically says for towns with less than 20,000 citizens, like the town of Shirley, the law allows fees to be assessed at 5 cents per copy if we're going to make hard copies of something, and we can charge for time for searching for, compiling, segregating, redacting, and reproducing all the information somebody wants. And we can do that from minute 1. The rate would be whatever the rate is of the lowest salaried person that could do the job. Not the lowest salaried person in the town hall or in town, it's whoever can do the job. But there's a maximum. So if it happens to be our lawyer who has to do it, he makes a little, or she makes a lot of money. But the top rate is $25 an hour. So the worst we can charge is $25 an hour. What I'm proposing as part of the policy for the town of Shirley is we don't charge for the first 2 hours of time researching. That we just, for the first 2 hours, that's free to the person. But if it's more than 2 hours, that's telling me that there's a lot of information gathering, because you can do a lot of information gathering in 2 hours. So if you're doing more than 2 hours, that's something that is taken away from our regular work, that type of thing. So I think that that would be charged, that should be charged, and that's what I'm bringing up to the selectmen for discussion. And the requester can appeal. Say, for example, we come back and say that's not accessible, you cannot have a copy, or you don't think we did it timely, you can appeal that to the state and say that they're doing something wrong, and you can appeal. Hopefully we don't get to that, hopefully we just do everything smoothly and there isn't any of those issues, but just so you know that there is an appeal process. Any questions?
I will say that council reviewed this document.
And no problems.
No, was it a couple suggestions?
Next week to the time.
Yeah, small things.
Yeah. Okay, so you want a motion for anything over 2 hours, we charge $25 or charge according to the way the law is written?
Yeah.
Yeah, because what we found is having no policy, the state, when they asked about how we went ahead and did, how we charged our fee, we had really no response, so.
So the best thing is to have a policy for the town, that's what I developed.
Okay.
Okay, so that's your policy.
Yeah.
And my motion would be to accept that, to include the fact that, for the lowest paid person handling the operation, which would be town council, I would assume.
For something.
Yeah, it depends on the request.
Right,
Yep.
on the request, that be the fee that's charged.
After 2 hours.
After 2
2 hours.
Yep.
Right.
I think that's fair, and should be fair.
Okay, well, I'll second the motion, and you vote,
My vote is
and I vote aye.
Okay, and thank you very much. Any other questions?
Yeah, we'll put the policy online too.
Yes. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody? No? Okay. All right, then we're going to move on to, while we're on policies, social media policy with the Communications Committee. We have
That's in front of you.
Melissa Lynch and Alexandra Egan. And my pen's dying. I'm gonna let you guys talk to it.
I'll speak. We, on the communication committee, we wanted to create a specific policy for people who use the town's social media. Now, this is not for internal use. This isn't for people in the town who are posting on pages, that sort of thing. This is for citizens and other people who might want to comment on something that the town posted. We researched different policies in various communities that are like Shirley. We found 25-page policies. We found one-page policies. We decided to go with a one-page policy because it's a lot easier. And it says everything, just not as long. So the purpose is just to create standards and procedures so that we have, if something does get posted that is inappropriate, we can point to the policy and say, sorry, we're going to remove that post. Now, the town is, in the policy, we are stating that the town is the owner and administrator of all of the social media profiles and pages. Now that, there's an official town page, there are other board and committee pages, and obviously they are administered by their different committees, but the town is ultimately the owner of the pages. And the pages are a way we can build community, and we can share news and happenings, and we want people to interact, and we want people to engage, but we also just want civility and appropriateness. So what the guidelines of the policy state, and I'll just summarize. The first thing is that we're not monitoring these pages 24/7, so if somebody has an emergency, they should not write us a message on Facebook or something, because it's in a policy. I'm sure it's happened somewhere. Also, the town welcomes a person's right to express their opinions, and we encourage commenting on issues related to the town. We will monitor the posts, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, or any social media pages that we might create at a later date. The posts are subject to removal at our discretion. By our, I mean the town. Certain postings and comments are not permitted, for example, if it's completely unrelated, spam, something that's profane, obscene, threats to anyone in the town, whether it's a public official or a private citizen, they will not be tolerated, and the post will be removed. Anything that promotes any sort of discrimination, that would also be removed. We're not allowing solicitation. You can't post that you want to sell something or you're having a party to sell something. That's not the appropriate site. And anonymous comments, we don't like those. Put your name to it. Now, we also, we do this, the policy states that the participation in the town social media profiles is at your own risk. So for your comments and anything like that, and you're putting it out there in public, that you have made the decision to do so. And again, we take all threats seriously, so they will not just be taken down, they will be followed up on. Now, comments that are made, this is a very important one, comments that are made do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the town or the people who hold office in the town. And also, very important, the town social media accounts are subject to Mass Public Records Law. And basically what the policy sums up is that if you post on a Facebook site or post to our Twitter, you're accepting the terms. You're accepting this policy. So we then have the right to enforce it.
Rico, any questions?
No, I don't know, it's good. I mean, it's something I think the town really wants because it's factual. I mean, and that's the important thing. It's not something, I don't do Facebook or anything of that nature, but I think a lot of that on there is questionable. This will not be questionable. This will be something that town residents can look at and derive information from it and learn as to what's going on behind the scenes, so to speak, in our town. That's very important to the citizens of the town, so I think it's a great thing. I think more towns should look at this policy and jump on board because it's a good way to spread good information.
And we will be, at a later date, following up with an internal social media use guide for people on boards and committees who are using social media.
Anybody?
I have a question. If you're not going to be...
You gotta come to the mic.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I've been told I have to tell everybody that.
Since you're not going to be monitoring it 24/7, is it possible to set it up so that the post has to be approved before it's actually posted? Or the comment has to be approved before it's posted?
I know that that is possible. I don't believe that that's currently what's going on. I think the fact that it's not being monitored 24/7 is more just a reminder that if you have like a 911 emergency and you're trying to reach the Board of Selectmen or the Chief of Police, you should not try to.
Right, that makes sense. But I'm just thinking that if somebody posts something that will be taken down, it's already been posted for however long it is.
Is
before
ours set up?
somebody,
I thought ours was set up that
I
way.
think ours is set up subject to approval.
Okay.
I'm not sure, though.
So
I
you don't
think
think
you
I can
Check
can,
into it. I know that.
When we originally set it up, I believe we
In
did
terms of
that.
commenting on posts, I don't think that's anything that, I don't think that's a delay.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
And it's dangerous to make comments on things subject to approval because then there's a slippery slope there.
Yeah, posts we can monitor, comments we cannot.
Okay.
Comments we can't stop from going up.
Right,
Okay.
posts, there are only certain
Posts we can, yeah.
people who have access to actual posting on a page.
comments?
Yes, I think
If
so, yeah.
they're deemed inappropriate.
Yep.
Right. But it is dangerous to try to say, well, your comment's doesn't meet with our quote-unquote approval if it doesn't meet this.
Okay, anybody else? Do I have a motion to accept the policy
I have a motion for the Board of Selectmen to accept the policy
as presented?
as presented.
Okay, and your vote? I'll second your motion and then your vote,
What is that?
and I'll vote aye. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And this will live on the website.
Yes.
As well.
I will, yes, it will be up there. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
And on the Facebook page. Okay, next on our agenda is a joint meeting with the Board of Health for the landfill invoice from Altus. Could you? So this is to discuss a previous meeting that we had with the Board of Health on an invoice that we received from Altus for some work that was done on the landfill, and they had a bill of $80,000, which they submitted to the town.
Yep.
We received a really huge email today.
Well, we got it Friday, but.
Friday,
yep.
and we didn't see it really until today, so, discussion, I want to hear what you have to say, and,
Okay, to start off, I'm Jay Howlett, Shirley Board of Health.
Yeah.
Jackie Esalonis, Butch Farah. We received this today,
yes, I know.
okay? So when I walked in the office, this was the first time that we actually get to see this. But we did go over it quickly, and we can see where they have this. We do have some questions in here on the billing, but that was something that was requested, the breakdown of the bill, which is
Okay.
good. We still believe that this doesn't fall under the Board of Health. It falls under the town and the Board of Selectmen, who approved to take over the landfill because of the solar plant. I should tell you that Butch and I went out there because we told you we would go from our last meeting and do a walk-around inspection, which we did. And do you have a letter of what our comments were? Because if you don't, I have copies here.
And I don't have this.
We can have one
So
for the
did
record.
this just go out today?
Yes, it did.
It did just
Yep.
today?
Yep.
Okay, because this is, okay.
Yeah, I didn't get it, unless Nate got it.
And it was just things that, when we did the walk-around, that we noticed that still have to be done. And a lot of these is things that are gonna cost money to have done. And if you look at the first one, regrading where the silt fence was and add additional soil if needed. When we went up there, you could see that they had a machine up there and just pulled out these silt fences. And when they did, now there's a big rut all around the landfill. In some cases, if you walk around there, you'll see stones around this big, just laying up on the surface. In the past, we would take and mow this area and bale it. With stones and debris like that, we can't do that now. So that was something that we noticed, and we'd like to have that taken care of. The next thing is we met with the engineer who was the like supervisor of the project, and we explained to him that we needed a swale like we originally had there, which took the runoff of the hill and brought it down towards the wetland area. Well, they did go back and they said that they did a berm or a swale, but it's about 2 inches high. So when it rains, it goes right over that and right into our recyclable area. And that's the reason why we need this swale. So that's something that has to be redone. And Butch did speak with the super up there and explained to him that that wasn't, we're not going to accept that the way it is right now. Just walking around there, we saw that there was a large tarp that somebody had left on the top of the hill. We tried to move it, and it was so big we couldn't. So somebody has to go up there, the contractor, and remove this tarp. Along with that, it's killing the growth up there. one of the most important things is item 4, is cleaning of that pipe. Patrice, if you look at that contract.
No, I know, we had
it's
agreed to
right
that,
in
and
there.
I'm not gonna argue with
That was
that.
supposed to be done,
But this is the first time that that issue has been brought to
but it
the
stated right in the contract.
to your attention.
That this pipe has to be cleaned, and that was gonna be done before they actually went online. Well, they've gone online, and that pipe has not been cleaned. That's something else that very important, that has to be taken care of.
So they haven't seen this here yet?
No.
This is, all right, so
Oh, yeah.
can we
No.
Well,
forward
that's
this?
the pipe is in the
Yeah.
original contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they haven't
No,
seen
they have
any
not
of
seen this
memo.
list,
Right.
no. We had
So-
Sandy.
I talked to Joe, I called Joe, he's working
Yeah.
on another solar up in Vermont,
Yeah,
so it's one of these phone games that we were playing.
Yeah, I don't know who Joe is, but I can call the owner and talk to them.
Those are these two
okay, so can we forward this?
Oh,
and-
de-
Yeah.
Oh,
and we'll-
definitely.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then we'll come back together again and meet and,
Well, you know, we do have a couple other items also.
oh.
I
Coffee
should
for
just,
us?
we had our engineer, who is Geological Field Services. They're the company we've had now for 4 or 5 years, who do the monitoring up at the landfill and do all the testings of all the wells.
Is that the
And-
May 29th, 17
Yeah.
memo?
You can remember that.
Yeah.
swears
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
The cellar.
And on that memo there, you'll see, I'm not sure if it's the last page or not, they really give a summary of things that need to be done there. When they inspected, they saw that there was ponding. That's water sitting in areas, and I'm just gonna go down the list, in row 4 to 6, in row 9 to 16, in row 14, in row 20, in row 25 and 26, in row 29 and 30, in row 32, in row 39 to 45, and in row 40 and 41 of lower areas in that landfill where these panels are setting up, that water is ponding. Never did that before. Their recommendation is, once the grass is cut and mowed, to identify specific areas that need to be reloomed and seeded and brought to grade.
Who is this again?
This was our engineering
Okay.
company, Geological Field Services.
Oh, okay, yep, that's right.
These are what they do the testing on.
They do
Yep,
the
yep.
testing.
No, I saw that memo.
And
I
they
saw
do
that
the
memo.
monitoring. In the past, we didn't have the solar farm there, so they would tell us, oh, if you have a low area, because we know that's a landfill, there is going to be some sinking going on down there. That's just the nature of it.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's in where the solar farm is.
It's in phase 1 and 2?
Yes.
Okay.
And so that's a concern for us.
Well, I can send that to,
And I think it should
Altus.
be a concern to you people, because now you're in charge of that. And that's one of our biggest questions.
You keep saying it, but that, it wasn't this board that did that.
No, I'm not pointing fingers at you. No, I'm not.
that we
I'm
people
pointing,
is-
well, it's the town. It's the town, the
Yeah, I was
select.
gonna say, you people is the entire
No.
town, so.
No, whoever the board is,
Yeah.
if it goes under the
I
town.
understand, yeah.
So our question is, in the future, whose responsibility is this?
I think we're gonna have to find out. All right, I don't know. Unfortunately, that part I didn't look into. I read this stuff, and we can look into it more and find out exactly where the duties of the Board of Health stop and the duties of the Board of Selectmen begin. So.
You know,
and-
originally, we wanted the town to take over testing, so pretty
Yeah.
much that would clean our hands, other than the recyclable center. But
You
no,
still have charge
we
of.
still have to do the monitoring, we still have to be in charge of that. But the question is really is, within the solar area, who's gonna take the responsibility to make sure that issues like this are taken care of?
it's the board.
It's
We
Board of
hold the
Selectmen.
lease, yeah.
Then it would be the Board of Selectmen.
But
Okay.
we,
And we'll have to set-
yeah, I mean, we need to be aware of what's
Yeah.
wrong and what's
you know,
not.
we're willing to help you on that.
Yeah.
It's just that, this whole debate came about from this bill, and then we had this $19,000 that was sitting in our account, and that's been there for a few years now, and we've been keeping it until such times that we ran into a problem.
But the difference of opinion there, Jay, is that is town money. It's not the Board of Health's money. It's the town money. And the
But it
money,
wasn't it
wait,
allocated
let
for the
me,
Board
let
of
me
Health?
finish. The money that's sitting in that fund was leftover free cash that was not used to cap phase 1 and phase 2 of that landfill. That is the town's money. Now, it's up to the board whether or not they want to use it or not. I understand what I'm hearing. You think that it's a town problem, it shouldn't use the Board of Health money. My contention is it's that money that's sitting in that account is the town, and this is a town problem. It's not a Board of Health problem, it's not a selectman problem, it's a town problem. It should be solved in a cohesive, cooperative way. I mean, we can go to town meeting, you can put an article on the warrant and ask for free cash to fix this problem. But the money that's sitting in your account was free cash that town meeting already delineated and appropriated for you guys. So I just think that,
We understand that. I mean,
yeah,
we really do understand.
that's my issue. It's the town. It's not,
I think the confusion comes because whenever we've had to do some repairs to the landfill, then the then accountant or treasurer, whoever gives that ruling, has said, okay, yes, you can take that out of that account. So we've seen that as that's our money to repair the landfill. So
yeah, I don't think that's how it was set up, though. And again, you guys do have a line in the budget to, monitor and,
But I'm just saying that's how we.
no, I understand that's how it was set up back in the past. I get it.
Allowed us to do it, so.
But it's not. It wasn't. That's free cash, remaining money.
I think the confusion too that I had with it is that they wanted $80,000, and I think we can all agree that we had problems looking at the bill. That was our first problem, that the bill didn't really, to me, and I think I can speak for you, is didn't outline what we wanted to see in the bill. So, but 80,000 was a lot of money that we felt the town shouldn't spend. I felt very strongly about that. Patrice and I talked to the person that is in charge of the operation, and we got it down to 20,000, knowing that you had 19,000. And we thought for the town, that's a pretty good deal. If he's willing to walk away from $60,000, from $60,000, that we're okay with that. But then Jackie pointed out, okay, that sounds like a good idea, but we need that money because we need to keep money in the bank for the constant repair. And so then my idea was that we should come to town meetings, whether it be special town meetings or annual town meeting, and for 2 years, my plan was for 2 years to bring that money back into the pot. I think people in town, if they realized we saved 60,000, might be inclined to stand up in a year or two and give you back that 20,000. That was my plan, and I thought it was reasonable to do that, only because you do need that money to run it.
So I guess the question is, who's gonna be running it, so we need to clarify.
Well,
If
yes.
if it's not on us, then we're not gonna worry about where it's gonna come from. If it is on us, then we wanna know that we're gonna have the ability to
Again,
do it.
I think it's on the town. I mean, if the landfill is facing a major repair and you have no money to fix it, the town is obligated to fix it.
Right, well, things like the mowing, it's now no longer.
But there's a line item for that.
$500, it's going to be, what did we figure, 2,000?
We got a price.
But that's in your annual operating budget, and if
And
those
that's
numbers have
something-
changed, then the number in the budget just changes,
Yeah,
and we
that's
talk
just
about that
something
every
that's
year.
gonna go up.
But it's changed because of the solar.
In the
farm.
past, we had an individual from town that would go in and actually do the mowing there, mowing and baling. Well, now where the solar farm is and you have that hill there, you can't run a machine down there. Now you would have to brush hog it. And that's more,
Jay, your budget works the same as Neshoba. Neshoba had an increase of 5% this year. We've raised the budget to match that. If mowing costs more money, then we raise the budget next year to match that. That's how you budget
That's
it.
gonna be good. I'm just telling you, there's an increase
Yeah.
now that we haven't seen in the past.
We are fine with that. We
Yep.
spoke to the board, I spoke to the board at the annual. I don't have a problem with that, I
Yep.
don't think the board does. The main issue is I do not want to give that company $80,000. I'm willing to talk 20,000, we got them down to 20,000. I'm okay with that, I understand, but I want to see an itemized bill from them which has nothing to do with any of us at the table, that's up to them. And if we can get away with it for $20,000, make it go away, that's fine. If we end up in court over $80,000, it's gonna cost us $120,000 to settle the matter. So, you know, the only.
Yeah, we believe that the deal that you people have struck is a good deal. Yeah, we all believe that, and it's probably the best interest of the town to do that. We just are reluctant to give up our money, because then we don't have
You
any.
know what? I'm just gonna give you $20,000. Really? I'm not saying I'm cheap, but I am.
I
I
still
don't wanna
am.
give them anything, but
I-
I'm gonna be forced.
I just don't see it as the Board of Health's money.
I first want to turn around and I want all these issues that were just brought up. I want them to review the
I can call
issues
Tony
that were
tomorrow.
brought up, because these are costly issues too.
I don't disagree.
And so before I give one penny to anybody, I want these brought down.
So I will call Tony tomorrow. I will
Yeah.
review the list with him. Rick, I don't know if you want to join me on that, since you were involved in the other call. So, and we'll just see where we go.
All right.
And then we'll need to figure out who's gonna take care of what.
In the future, this
And-
is something that we have to discuss.
And maybe that, maybe like one of us can meet with you and we'll go over stuff and we'll make a decision on how we want to work things. We can,
That's fine.
we'll do it that way, all right? Okay. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So next on the agenda, we have a Chapter 61 land right of first refusal, I can talk, refusal for Center Road. It's parcel number 35-A2. I did speak with the assessors on this, and they told me that everything was in order. From what I understand, the planning board has no opinion on it. The Board of Assessors was doing the rollback tax, and now we have conservation here. Can you
Dave
s-
Bortel, Chair of the Conservation Commission. And you're correct, the Griffin Family Trust has offered the town of Shirley the first refusal on Lot 2, which is between 92 and 82 Center Road. They've graciously offered it to the town, and they're actually, as I understand, paying the expenses to do it. So this area is adjacent to the town's conservation areas, Ronchetti, Holden Conservation, Valley Farm, Old Town Line, Birchwood Hills, and all these tie in to Lunenburg's Robb Hill Conservation Area. So it creates even a larger area for the town. So we recommend that the town accept this property.
Well, actually, the board is voting right of first refusal, so that's what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah. You're denying your right, I guess.
That's good.
Yeah.
Where what?
So,
Yes.
but the conservation land that's being, so you're offering a right of first refusal contingent on some of that land being donated to conservation, or is it all the land being donated to conservation?
The Griffins are here.
Is it all the
Would
land?
you like to come up and talk to it? I took it as a lot, but I could be wrong.
I could, well, we have a lot of 61 right now. I just want to make sure I'm doing the right
know,
one.
all right.
We have another one in the wings, too.
You don't have
so.
a seat. You don't have to. Just make sure you talk into the mic.
Good evening, Select Board. I'm Tom Christopher, and this is my wife, Shirley Griffin.
Look, Shirley.
We are trustees of the Griffin Family Trust. The trust has owned a parcel of land approximately 11 and a half acres for a number of years. And we have opted to carve out one lot, approximately 2 acres, that meets the zoning requirements here in Shirley. So we are asking the different boards to sign off their right of first refusal. And in addition to that, the trust has offered to the commission a 9.5 acre parcel adjacent that connects all the conservation areas that Mr. Bortel described.
So the 2 acres are being sold and developed, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so the vote, Holly, would be contingent on 9.5 acres being donated to the Conservation Commission.
Okay, that was what I wanted to make sure
Yep.
of. All right, so Rico, do I hear a vote,
Yeah,
a
that would be
motion?
my motion that we would exercise the right of first refusal based on the fact that 9.5 acres of land would be given to the Conservation Commission.
Okay.
Yep.
And I'll second the motion. Your vote?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
That's fine. I will inform the board that the deed is currently being prepared. I am not aware of how this process goes forward at this point from the board's perspective.
From
Do
our,
you send us a letter, or how does that work?
Usually what I do in cases like this is the town clerk will write up a certificate of vote with the clerk's seal, and then that's given.
Okay, and as I say, our attorney has already prepared the deed, and as soon as we get the sign-off from you, I'm guessing all of this will take place at a closing.
Yes, that's my understanding, yep.
And at
Yep.
that point, we do have a rollback that we're responsible for.
Yep.
We'll also be taking care of that.
yeah, the assessors will, were already said they were working on the rollback, so,
That's
Yep,
great.
so you're gonna need to see the town clerk
okay?
to get that.
A few days, a week.
I don't know, Bill? Tomorrow?
First time doing it.
Okay, give us a couple of days.
Okay. Thank you very much, and we appreciate the board's consideration, and we're delighted that the Conservation Commission is willing to take ownership of this property.
Okay, well, thank you so
Thank you.
much. Have a great day,
Thank you.
evening. So next on the
Can
agenda.
I add
Oh,
one
you
more
have one
thing,
more
if I
thing?
could? I was wondering if anything has been decided on the insurance for the buildings?
You know what, that's my fault, and I realized it after the fact that I forgot to put it on the agenda.
Okay.
But I know there were some quotes and that were given to us. Have we seen the quotes?
No, I gotta follow up with Mike.
All right, so we will check in with Mike, and I'll work with Patrice and you, and we'll make,
Okay.
okay?
All right.
Make sure everything gets settled.
Okay, all right,
All
great,
right,
thank
yeah,
you.
I'm sorry, I dropped the ball on that
Okay.
one. And I saw it this morning and realized I had dropped the ball, and it was too late.
No problem. Thank
Nice
you.
hat.
Thank you.
Nice hat.
Yeah.
And Dawn.
So next on the agenda, we have Groton Road solar lease. It's a request to sublease.
Yep, proponents are here, I believe. Oh, hi.
Yeah. And just please make sure you're talking to the mic,
Certainly.
because they tell me that they can't hear us.
All right. Good evening. I'm Justin Woodard from National Grid. I'm an engineer, and so I want to thank you for your time in listening to this. We have a parcel that we lease, approximately 9 acres on Groton Road, and we're looking to get a consent to sublease part of the parcel, about a half acre, which is located in the back corner. That would be to Vionics Energy for the installation of a 500 kilowatt, 3 megawatt hour energy storage unit. It's part of a larger DOE program, which has several energy storage units being deployed to better understand the integration with renewables and help the utility supply better power quality and reliability. So we have one installation that's been commissioned at Holy Name High School in Worcester. There's actually another unit, Fort Devens. So this unit would be the most recent that we'd be looking to construct. It's a partnership between Vionics and National Grid. Also, this ties in with the Governor Baker's energy storage initiative. So there's a target in the Commonwealth to deploy 200 megawatt hours of energy storage. So this fits and helps supply, megawatt hours towards that goal. The lease does have a provision for consent.
Mhm.
So all of the requirements that National Grid has for the lease would be passed along to Vionics. National Grid would also be responsible for ensuring that all of the requirements of the lease are met, no different than as of today. It just, a small portion, needs to be allocated to be able to proceed with the project. So with that, our request is hopefully the board finds this is a reasonable request, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Nico, do you have any? So now I'm learning a little bit about solar. I didn't know anymore. And I would like to sort of review all of this a little bit more. And can we put you back on the agenda for the 21st and go over it again? I hope you weren't expecting me to answer right away tonight.
I always hopeful, but if it helps, the consent is a pretty standard document.
Yeah.
It's laid out in the lease.
I have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave him a copy.
Okay,
Yeah,
excellent.
and I just want to make sure I've looked everything over and understand the battery part of it and not battery part, the energy storage unit part of it, and make sure everything's okay in it. I don't know your opinion.
No.
Yeah.
Well, there is one point that he forgot, very important piece, which is the money piece.
Yes, there's an additional, the asset value is approximately $1.7 million. So there is additional potential tax revenue for the unit.
And we also requested, I don't know if you remember last time, an additional donation to the Land Acquisition Trust in the amount of $20,000. No,
Yeah, unfortunately, we weren't able to.
we'll keep working.
Okay.
That way there, but we understand that too. So come back in 6 weeks and we can look at it.
So we'll put you on the agenda for the 21st. And do you have if I needed to get a hold of you, email or any other thing that I could?
Certainly.
I think it's in your
Is it on-
packet.
Is it in my
Justin's
packet?
email, yeah.
JustinWoodard@nationalgrid.com?
Yep.
Okay. All right, if I have a question, I'll email you.
His number's there too.
And I'm really good at that part, so. All right. Thank you so much, Justin.
Thank you.
So you want him back on the 21st?
21st, yeah. Okay.
You want to skip me?
Can we just
Sure.
go and at least, I know the meeting house is here so that we can have
That's fine.
them come up.
I'm here.
Ron, sorry. So we have a letter. You can sit down. We don't make everybody. Okay, it's up to you. All right. A letter from the Shirley Meeting House. I'll let Ron explain it for use of the Centertown Common on September 16th.
So I'm Ron Benet, 194 Center Road, representing the Shirley Meeting House, and the Shirley Meeting House's request for the use of the town common land on the 16th of September for a fundraising event. We will be having a craft beer and wine tasting event between 3 and 6 o'clock on the 16th. But we need permission from the town to use the common.
I'm fine with that. I'll make a motion.
Sure.
My motion would grant you the 1 day, it's a 1 day liquor license?
1 day.
For
No,
the
it's
common.
not the liquor license. It's for the use of the common.
Or the use of the common? Is
Yes.
there gonna be liquor on the common?
There will be.
There will be.
We'll get to
You
that.
need a license.
Yeah, that's coming down.
It's,
the
we
next
have that
agenda.
too.
Well, for the common, fine, the motion would be that they granted the right to use the common for the 1 day.
Okay, and I would second the motion. What I did want to let you know is that my understanding is we will need there will be a police detail needed. Okay, all right, so as long as you're all set, your vote, Mr. Gab- and I vote aye. So you're all, you're welcome. Yes, I will. I'll be drinking coffee, so I hope you have it there. Okay, so now we'll go back to the town administrator's report.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I just wanted to make
I
sure
thought
I
you were
got
gonna do all
people
that.
who are in here
Sure.
for certain things.
Okay. The town received an update regarding the Longley Road Bridge. LEC Environmental Consultants has been contracted to assist in this project. LEC is seeking input regarding the environmental impact in that area. The attached letter was forwarded to all land use boards for comment. According to the letter, construction is scheduled to start in 2020.
Okay.
On July 31st, I attended a public hearing regarding the MBTA Wi-Fi project. This project is designed to provide free Wi-Fi service to MBTA customers. The project proposes the construction of 75-foot poles along MBTA routes. At the meeting, it was announced that only towns north of the city were notified of this project. Shirley heard about this project from another town just last week. Many communities are frustrated due to the height of the poles and the proposed locations. I have provided the board with some information on the project as well as my best guess as to where the poles may be located along the MBTA route in Shirley. Given the information that I have found, it appears 2, if not 3 poles will be located along Front Street. I will continue to update the board on this project. The next hearing is scheduled for August 14th.
Can we put this info online?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, can we get that online so that people can
Where
look
the
at it
poles
and
might
see,
go?
yeah, where the
Yeah.
poles are gonna be, so that they have an idea as to what's
Sure.
going on?
Yeah, I plan on, I'm gonna try to attend the meeting on the 14th to get some more
Okay.
information. Where was I? After your last meeting, I inquired about a historical grant for the schoolhouse on Church Street. I'm researching whether or not there are funds available to conduct a feasibility study. I will inform the board if there are grant applications available for this project. We are asking employees to volunteer at the senior center for the center's weekly lunches. This idea came from when one of the employees asked if she could volunteer. I spoke with the interim director and asked if we could open this up to all the employees. We'll be working with the interim director to figure out the logistics. I think it's a great opportunity for employees to volunteer at the senior center. Attached to the letter of support to the water department, the water department is seeking a Mass Works grant. It is customary that a letter of support come from the town.
I
Yeah.
signed it,
Yeah.
yes.
Meyer is seeking applications for a one-time grant up to $10,000. I'm working with staff to prioritize small projects in town that the grant covers, which is very specific. I will let the board know once we begin to get quotes for various projects. So we're working on that. And finally, attached are proofs for signs that we would like to order to better direct residents as they come into town hall. As the board knows, currently offices are lacking signs. If you know, we get countless where is.
I know.
This will cut down on that.
Okay,
And that concludes my report.
okay, thank you.
Yep.
Questions? Okay, so then we're gonna move on back to where we're supposed to be. We have a one-day liquor license from the Bull Run for Saturday, September 16th, from 3 to 6 p.m. Do I hear a motion?
Is that the one?
That's the one on the common, yes.
Motion we grant them the one-day liquor license?
Okay, and I'll second the motion. Your vote?
Aye.
And I vote aye. And we have a one-day liquor license for the Shirley American Legion for August 19th, 2007, for the Shirley Fire fundraiser. Do I hear a motion?
You have a motion for the one-day liquor license, Shirley American Legion?
I'll second, yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'll second your motion.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Okay, and next is we are going to open the special town meeting warrant. We have a special town meeting scheduled for November 13th, 2017. We have articles that we're already putting on the warrant. We can go down them. A feasibility study for the old schoolhouse, road acceptance,
That's plural. We just got another one in.
acceptances, marijuana bylaw, line transfers for union contracts, supplemental appropriations, speed limit signs throughout the, we're doing this throughout the town.
It's a through the Municipal Modernization Act.
Okay,
You can present a bylaw to town meeting to lower it.
yeah.
It's like a blanket.
Okay, the wage and salary, wage and classification schedule, conservation GIS.
Those were items that Conservation Commission was looking for.
Okay.
It's a small, minor capital item.
Okay, to transfer funds to the land acquisition trust.
Another request from the Conservation Commission.
Yeah, cemetery program.
We're actually looking to see if we can fund that this year. Cemetery,
I'm sorry, I was just imagining
yeah, this is my
a
note
song
taking.
and dance going on in the cemetery.
No, the tracking system for where people are buried is
Okay.
antiquated at best.
You're looking for a
a program.
Software program.
Yeah, software program. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're running into issues with that program.
You do know how old that program
Well,
is.
the fact that we can't even open it is one problem.
I know
But
how.
yeah, we're I think we're gonna just go ahead and do this.
Okay.
It depends on the quote. I gotta look at the quote.
Okay. And a revolving funds bylaw?
Yeah, again, this is the Municipal Modernization Act. We talked about it at annual town meeting.
Have we set a date to close the warrant?
No, that's what
No.
you need to vote on tonight.
Okay,
So
and
you-
also, have we emailed all the town boards and committees and everything that?
I have not done that yet.
Okay, so.
I usually do that after we open it.
What's the last day we have to sign the warrant?
Ooh. Well, you can open and close it at any time.
Okay.
The closing just gives a finality to it so people get their stuff in. If you
Okay.
leave it open-ended, no one will ever give anything.
So we're August.
You're
yeah,
August 7th
October.
now, you can open it for a month.
Yeah, I would say let's open it for a
September
month.
7th, end of business.
Yeah, I think so, because what we talked about tonight about with the Board of Health, if we come to some kind of an agreement on that, I'd like to think about whether or not we want to look for an article to replenish their funds, should we take
Yeah, the board can do that any time though.
We're meeting on the 12th
Of
of September? Or 11th? 11th?
The board can open and
Yeah.
close the warrant at any time to put
Yeah.
an article on.
Okay.
This
All
is more for departments.
Okay, so for now, we'll say September 7th.
Okay.
Yep,
Yep.
September 7th. We'll close the warrant and just make sure we get word out to everybody that it's
Yep.
there. And if they have something or want something on the warrant, they contact us.
Yep, I'll send it tomorrow.
Okay. All right. And do we have anything else? Anybody have any questions? Okay. So the next is to ratify the DPW contract. Everything is set with the contract?
Yeah, I spoke to the union rep today, Nadine Kennedy, and she's fine to go
Okay.
ahead.
Do I hear a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to ratify the contract with the Department of Public Works.
Sorry. I would add one thing. If in case of minor changes, the union finds by reviewing that those changes be allowed in. Nothing
Okay.
substantial.
All right, then so you're moving it just as she put it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
all right, I'll second the motion.
Okay,
And your vote?
I vote aye.
And I vote aye.
Good for Public Works, that's another contract signed, and that's,
Okay.
we've gone through.
Yeah,
good
2 to
job.
go.
Good, 2 more to go.
So to add one other thing under, and it's not on the agenda, and we apologize, but it is an emergency type thing. The fire department and the police had asked, we're down to one dispatcher,
Full-time.
one full-time dispatcher, and we have a part-time person that they would like to have appointed. So although this isn't on our agenda, I am allowing it for the fact that it is an emergency. We do need to get somebody in the position. Chief, would you like to talk about the person you're recommending?
Yes, as the town administrator just mentioned, that we're down to one full-time dispatcher. We're supposed to have 4 full-time dispatchers, so we're obviously in a crisis. We have a handful of part-time dispatchers, so we're bringing Colleen Sheehy, if I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. She has 22 years of experience. She was recommended. Chief Dennis Beck and I interviewed her this morning. She has all the training, basically just bring her on. We'll probably give her 1 day of training and she's good to go. She's willing to help us out. She works full-time in Tingsboro as a dispatcher, and she is willing to help us out anywhere from 8 hours to 40 hours a week. So I think that'll hold us over until whatever decision the board will make regarding the regional dispatch.
Okay.
If we go ahead.
Okay, thank
I
you.
will like to add too, we're meeting with the state 911 people this week as well to notify them of some of our situation.
Okay, all right, thank you. Mr. Capucci, do I hear a motion?
Yes, I have a motion to hire the part-time dispatcher, Colleen Sheehy, as requested by both the fire chief and police chief.
And I'll second that motion.
And I
You're-
vote aye.
I didn't ask you yet.
You didn't ask me to vote?
And I vote aye. I'm sorry, you voted before I asked.
I was in anticipation.
So next on the agenda is the treasurer collector's position. We
Missed one.
Huh?
Aggregation.
Oh, sorry. Aggregation. I had a request via Facebook, actually, of somebody asking the status of aggregation, and I put it back onto the agenda, so you have an update?
Yep. So a conference call was had with the Department of Public Utilities, I think it is, DEP.
Yeah.
No, Department of Public, yeah, whatever the acronym is.
Yeah.
And they determined that everything was complete, and the next step is waiting that final sign-off, and then they can go out to bid for power. So that's where we are.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there's been, they expressed the concern of how long it took to get to this, place where we are, but, it's a state. I don't know. They do things in their own time, I guess.
Okay, all right. And then the next item is the treasurer collector's position, and I put this on the agenda. I spoke with Patrice earlier, and what we're going to do is we have one. Have we had a resume submitted for the position?
Of treasurer collector?
Yes.
We had one.
Okay. And we're going to advertise, I'd like to have it advertised, or make sure we've advertised in MMA, and then in the MCTA, the Mass Treasurer Collectors Association. And in the meantime, we're working on bringing an interim. We're working on getting somebody in so that we have the office covered. Right now, we have one person in the office, so we're working towards trying to make sure it's covered and then move forward as quickly as possible. So how long does it usually take to get in the MMA?
A day.
Mass Municipal Association, just in case you want to know.
A day.
A day?
If Nate puts it in tomorrow, it might actually show up tomorrow.
Okay.
It depends.
and-
I think it depends on who's in the office to post.
Yeah, and I think the MCTA is the same way. If
Yeah,
we get it
it's all
in-
online
yeah.
now.
Yeah, so if we get them in there and at least get them out there for a week, and we'll put it back on the agenda for the 21st. If we get anything in, give me a call and we'll review them.
Mm-hmm. And then we
Okay.
also are working on an internal plan as well.
Yes.
We're working on that. So.
Okay. Yep, and those are just to make sure everything's covered all the way through. Okay, so item number 8 is public comments. Do I have any public comments? Hi, Paul, how are you? Have a seat, Paul.
Is there another one for the record?
Yes, I have one here.
Thank you.
Okay.
The reason I'm doing that, as you can read, I've been employed by the town for 42 years. I've been here 38 years as the DPW. I've been doing the job as director for roughly 8 years. All I'm looking for is to get paid for what I'm doing. And if whether it's you people or whoever doesn't want to pay me, then I'm going to leave. You have one guy that's been there 1 year, another one's been there less than 3 years, and the other one's 17 years.
You want to sit down and talk with me?
I would like to talk to you too, yes.
Okay.
You two only.
Can I just state one thing, Paul? And this is a union issue. This is a union issue. Paul is a union member. It is a union issue. Holly, I would suggest you call Nadine if you go forward. That's all I would suggest.
Okay, I can do that, but yeah.
And I don't think they'll have a problem either. I've got all my paperwork ready to go, Holly. I've already been down to the retirement board. I'm ready to go. So either this works or there's no sense in me staying anymore. I'm at my 80%.
Okay, yeah, I understand.
If you look at every department head in this town is getting paid a lot more than I am. A lot more.
Okay.
And
yeah.
I can't say department head because I've been told I'm not the department head. I'm not the director, so.
Yeah. Can we, if we meet, can we meet, just meet with him in an executive session, or is it where it would be?
It's a union issue. I don't know how. I don't even know. I don't understand. You just signed the contract. there is a set salary and fee for the next 3 years for the position of foreman. I don't understand. You would be violating the contract if you go ahead and did this. The other thing I would recommend is running this through council. I mean, I don't well, the first thing is I don't know why a union matter that should be talked about in executive session is being now talked about in open session with to me, sounding like an ultimatum to the Board of Selectmen saying, if you don't sit down with me and negotiate something outside the contract that should be inside the contract, I'm going to retire. I don't think it has any place in front of this board at this period of time.
I think anything has any, I think everything
It's not an
has,
ultimatum.
yeah.
It's not an
I would recommend,
you're
if I could finish, please, I would recommend also running this through council. You do not want a union violation against the town when you just ratified the
Well,
contract.
when we did this 8 years ago, the union didn't care. They said, if Paul wants to do what he's doing, do it, and I did. So, you can do what you want with it. I'm not gonna go threatening you, and I'm not going after the town. So
No, I think we
I
should
just think I
talk.
should be getting paid for what I'm doing.
I think,
But that was, that you could have talked about that during union negotiations.
Right, I think you and I talked about this before. The idea was to come out of the union, and you didn't want to do that, correct? See, yeah, but that's the problem. The problem is the unions that we are dealing with right now are tough unions. They bargain tough. But if you were to come out of the union and.
Well, we'll talk about that, Rico.
No, you talk about that with Helen.
I don't know how you meet in executive session with a union member.
then
Yeah.
can Paul and I meet and
You
can I
guys can
also-
meet.
Yeah, all right, so can we meet and we'll plan a date to meet? Can I have a copy of, well, I don't need a copy, I know where to get it. I wanna look at our wage and salary, our,
But I just wanted, you just ratified the contract with his salary and wage scale set for the next 3 years.
okay, let Paul and I meet
Okay.
and make a decision on what Paul wants to do. And, 'cause really truthfully, I don't wanna, I wanna see what we can do, what our options are. And I will talk to town council and I will talk to
Okay.
Nadine.
Okay.
So I will speak with both of them and then I'll come back and then you and I can talk about what,
That's fine.
you
And it's-
know,
and like I said, it's not a threat. It's not a
Yeah.
threat at all. I don't threaten the town. I've been here too long.
42 years, longer than me. So, and longer than Dennis.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you, Paul, for all the work you do. Do we have any other public comments?
I have two questions. My first question is in regard to the public records request.
Uh-huh.
Are we gonna be charging because you mentioned that you would charge 5 cents for the copy, and then you kind of went into the whole hourly thing or whatever, but then you only went back to the hourly thing. Are you also gonna be charging by the piece of paper that it requires? Sorry, does that make sense? I'm just like, I don't know.
The basic premise of the public records thing is that 99% of the things will be electronic.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll scan the information and send it to you, get as much information on the website, so we can just say, go to the website, here it is. So I'm anticipating that most of it will not be making copies.
Okay.
But if we do have to make copies, we will be charging 5 cents each.
Okay, and will that be in cash? Will people have to physically come down here and hand you money? Can it be done online?
At this point in time, there's no, that I know of, and I can check with the treasurer or something else, but I don't know of a way of accepting credit cards online. We have the online payment process, but I know that's for excise tax and birth certificates and things like that. But I accept in my office, I accept cash and checks.
Okay.
And that's where we could do that.
Okay, cool, that makes sense, that answers that question about that request. And then my other question is in regards to Mr. Wilson resigning, is there gonna be an election, like, how does that work?
It'll be on the agenda the
It'll be- okay,
21st.
okay.
What we have is we have 64 days. I actually went and looked it up
64.
online. Yeah, 64 days in which to call an election. Where we just got it today and wasn't on our agenda, I just put it under announcements to let people know. So we have 64 days, we can call an election, or we could stay with just 2 people on the board. I'm not in favor of that.
Okay.
And just so you know, it's 64 days from the day that you guys make a decision, not
Yeah.
64 days from today.
Yeah, from,
So it would be
so,
the August 21st date.
right, so, it'll be on our agenda the 21st, and we'll move forward after that.
And then that election would be to replace his
Hi-
seat, so the remainder of his term.
For the
That's,
remainder of his term, yes.
okay, so
I did check that, thank you.
okay, thank you. So, yeah, it would be, whoever ran would be, it would be a 3-year term, or an
The
almost.
remainder.
Two,
The
well, 2.5.
remainder,
Yeah.
Well, it depends when the election is.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay,
thank you guys.
thank you. Anything else? So correspondence, we have an open meeting law complaint, for, for the Council on Aging. Should I read the whole complaint?
You just have to summarize it.
Okay, so we have a complaint for, a member that was replaced on the COA, and they would like the person, not voted into the position and for it to be relooked at, and she filed an open meeting complaint for that.
Mm-hmm. So as I discussed with members of the board separately, this is a complaint to the Council of Aging because on their agenda, they did not place any recommendation to the Board of Selectmen. So they're meeting on Wednesday to correct that action, to revote the
Mhm.
recommendation that the board received. It doesn't change who's on that board because the board makes the appointment of Council on Aging members, and there's no open meeting law complaint against the Board of Selectmen. So we hope that suffices the state, and we'll move from there.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and beyond that, we don't have anything else. Next, yes.
The only thing I'd like to add is that I've spoken to the Council on Aging people, and they understand the process better now. So whatever issue came up should not happen again, because they now understand the process.
Okay, thank you. So next, minutes of June 6th. Do I hear a motion to accept them?
Yep, so, my motion would be to accept the minutes of June 6, 2017,
As presented.
as presented.
Okay, and I'll second the motion. Your vote?
I vote aye.
And I vote aye. And next, I'm going to read the treasury warrants, and then I'll take a motion. So we have 3 treasury voucher number 9102, payroll withholding $1,439.27. Voucher number 9238, general fund $590,544.08. And voucher number 102, for the following items: general fund, $5,395.54. Benjamin Hill Swimming Revolving Fund, $4,058.67. Summer and Shirley Program Revolving, $5,946.22. Council on Aging Mart Reimbursement, $1,312.21. And the Ambulance Enterprise Fund for $2,792.90, for a total of $19,505.54. Do I hear a motion?
Yes, I have a motion to approve the treasury warrants as read by you, Mrs. Haas.
And I'll second that. And your vote?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Seeing that we have no other items, no other comments, no other anything, I would take a motion to adjourn our open session at 8:13 PM and move into executive session. And I would ask for you to make the motion of what we're moving into executive session.
Madam Chairman, we're moving into an executive session under General Laws 30A, Section 21A2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining agreement sessions, or contract negotiations with personnel, specifically to discuss police chief's contract and DPW contract.
And I'll second the motion. And your vote?
And I vote aye.
And I vote aye.
Make a motion? We need
Do you want to sign stuff up here upstairs?
We'll sign it upstairs. Yeah, we're going upstairs.